everyone, this is Dr. Brooke Keels with Mercy Multiplied, and here at Mercy, your mental health is very important to us. And so today we're going to talk about some of the signs and symptoms of anxiety. Now I'm going to tell you this is not an exhaustive list, so when the few things that we go over, if you would like more information, or if you start to feel like, oh gosh, maybe that is something I struggle with, please go to our website at mercymultiplied.com, and we have a whole host of information there to support you. And so one of the reasons we're talking about anxiety today specifically is that anxiety disorders are actually the most diagnosed mental health issues in the United States. So it affects about 40 million U.S. adults, which is 18% of the population. So that's a lot of people that are struggling with anxiety. And just getting into a few of the symptoms, one of the main ones that's pretty common that most people, if they said, oh, I have anxiety, this is what they mean, and that is excessive worrying. And we're not talking about like I'm going through kind of a situation, I'm not sure how it's going to work out, and so these are kind of one-offs, but we're talking about consistent worrying where it interrupts your daily life. There's a difficulty focusing, you're at work, and these intrusive thoughts continue to come in your brain. Maybe you're spending time with your family, and you just cannot focus or be present with them because you're consistently worrying about whatever it is. And some of these things may be real, maybe situational, but for the most part with anxiety, it becomes something that is not an immediate danger or not an immediate threat. It's just a consistent worrying about something you can't control. Another thing that we see consistently with anxiety is irritability. So, some people joke with me, they're like, well, I'm a pretty irritable person, and I don't actually find that to be true of most people. But if you think about things that didn't bother you before start bothering you, people that you used to love to hang out with, all of a sudden they're kind of getting on your nerves, or you don't really have the energy to deal with them. Usually it comes out with the people closest to us, so with our family. Maybe your kids are frustrating you more than they have before, or a spouse. And so that's just something to really pay attention to. And what that generally means is that your body is an overload, and you kind of don't have the grace that you did before. Also, what we see is fatigue and trouble sleeping. And obviously, if you're not sleeping, fatigue comes in. But one of the really important things to realize with anxiety is that it is physically affecting you, right? So when we worry, when we do not feel safe, our body is like, we're not safe, right? Parts of your brain begin to function less. We're going more into that lizard brain, as we say. Your frontal lobe, which helps you plan out and think things through, is like, oh, we don't have time for that. We're worrying, we're not safe. We have to figure this out. And so that affects your sleep and also affects your level of energy. And the last thing, and probably the major issue with anxiety, are panic attacks. And a lot of times these feel like basically you're having a heart attack. They can last anywhere from a few seconds to several minutes. We've worked with some people that have had them up to 30 minutes. And so that is generally where people end up in the hospital with their anxiety, is because their panic attack, like I said, they just thought they were having a heart attack. And there's obviously a place when it gets to that level, and of course before then too, that you want to intervene so that a result of your anxiety is not a panic attack. And so we will be talking about some of the ways to intervene with these situations and these different symptoms. And so stay tuned for another video where we will talk about how to help if you are struggling with anxiety.